Hey guys, what's up? Me again. Welcome to another fun week of Virtual Salesianum. This happens to be week 4, and in week 4, there's only one lesson that is published on Wednesday and due Saturday by midnight. As you can see here, I finally got my pandemic haircut, courtesy of my wife, who is definitely not a hairdresser. So with that said, we're going to dive right in, and I am going to share my screen. Hopefully this video will be rather short, sweet, and to the point. As you can see here, week 4, lesson 1, aptly titled, is live on April 15th and due Saturday at midnight, April 18th. Also happens to be my dad's 68th birthday, so happy birthday, Dad. All right, looking at where we are in our study of the world wars, we are actually technically between the two wars. This is really the biggest reason I cover the two wars together, is to cover this interwar time period, the time between the two wars that was so critical, not only for things like huge history topics like the Holocaust, bombing of Pearl Harbor, but also kind of the world in which we live currently, which all of those things came into play as a result of the Second World War. So what we're covering during this lesson is kind of the rise of totalitarianism or dictatorship, and then obviously honing in on looking at Hitler's Germany, Hitler and the Nazi Party. So if you can look here, I'm not going to read each step to you, but what I'm asking you to do is read the section in the textbook that covers this. Mainly covers in general, in broad scope, totalitarianism and how it evolved in Russia or the Soviet Union, which if you backtrack to World War I, the Soviet Bolshevik Revolution was in 1917, leading to the rise of the Soviet Union. So with that said, we're going to look at Soviet Union, Spain, Italy, Germany, and Japan. As you read that, I'm asking you to use those two organizers that are in the beginning of the section called reading skill. One is a chart that outlines each country. I'm asking you to take notes. Bullet point form would be perfect in that. And then second part of that is a mind map, which we've done countless versions of. Sounds like because of all these things I'm asking you to combine, Notability would be the best app to do this in, and it would allow you to submit that on the back end through Google Drive. So after you read that section, you'll have a pretty good understanding of kind of the backdrop, sort of this rise of all these different regimes across Europe and obviously into Japan, China and Japan. And then I'm asking you to look closer at Hitler and the Nazis' rise to power through a TED-Ed. This is another Khan Academy video, and this video coupled with the one that will be week 5, lesson 1, does an excellent job of going through the chronology of how Hitler came to power, some of the very methodical, but very smart in terms of getting elected steps, and then very smart in terms of strategically becoming a dictator, systematically becoming a dictator. This does kind of the early half, and then the following video that we'll look at in week 5 will do kind of the back half and the lead up to the Second World War. So watch this and complete the questions. As you watch this, because it does such a good job, I'm asking you to put together a timeline of Hitler and the Nazi Party's rise to power. You'll see the narrator does an excellent job of using the events in there in the timeline format. And then lastly, a written discussion prompt. And again, obviously, the next time around, I'll pair that with Flipgrid. So we'll be doing kind of more of a video recording. So a little bit straightforward this week in that you're reading a section in the textbook, you're watching a TED-Ed video, doing things while you do both of those, both read and watch, and then answering things on the back end. So I hope that makes sense. I look forward to, spoiler alert, seeing you all next week. Not live, but via this format at least. Hope all is well, and please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns you have throughout the time. Stay healthy, guys.